How are we all? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to do a disk partition. For those not familiar, a disk partition is where you split your hard drive on your computer and laptop so that the storage is now in multiple sectors. Now, before you go grabbing your hacksaw, this is all done through Windows. We're not going to be physically splitting the hard drive, so put that hacksaw away. Now, as always, these videos aren't going to be the best of quality. They might be pathetic looking, but I will get you there. Before we begin, the following is for a Windows-based operating system only. The first thing I'll get you to do, using your mouse, I want you to right-click the little Windows icon located at the lower left of the screen. Upon doing the right-click, you will see a list populate. Within the list, you will see something called Disk Management. Now using your mouse, I want you to left-click Disk Management. Upon clicking Disk Management, the Disk Management utility will now open. This is where you can see your computer/laptop's hard drive details. Now the default drive is OS-C. So what I want you to do is click on it and then right-click the OS-C so that it can showcase the options. When the options showcase, I want you to now left-click Shrink Volume. A message will pop up informing you that it is querying volume for available shrink space. Let this run uninterrupted. It should take less than a minute. Once the query is complete, a little box will pop up where it will showcase the amount of volume you are able to shrink and partition into another hard drive. Before we continue, I'm going to touch base on a common issue that occurs in the Windows 11 operating system. As you can see now, the size of the available shrink space is only 39,727. This should not be the case. We should have over 350,000 available. So if you take a look in the disk management where it says free space, on my machine, it actually says I should have 393.29 gigabyte available. And if we go further and open up the C drive, it says it right there, 393 gigabyte free. So why is the size of the available shrink space much lower? Instead of 393 gigabytes, it's only giving me 39 gigabytes to shrink. This is due to the following reasons, and higher level troubleshooting would need to take place. Depending on the demand or if I receive a lot of requests, I will make individual videos of the following to show you how to troubleshoot this issue so that you can have your available hard drive space not affected by this issue. The first thing might be due to your system restore. There might be a system restore on your system that is clogging up the drive. We would have to disable that system restore and also get rid of that file. The second could be due to your paging file set. There might be an issue with the paging file and we would have to disable that too in order for the hard drive to get up to speed. The third could be due to the system volume information. This is a locked/core component of Windows that is unable to be moved, hence why the partition might not show the full system storage space. And finally, it could possibly be due to the hard drive itself having disk issues, where we might need to optimize it or defragment, even run check disk and SFC scan. Assuming that your system is not experiencing this issue and we have the available space and can continue, what I want you to do is click on enter the amount of space to shrink in MB and delete whatever value is inside so that it now becomes blank. Depending on your system, it might show the volume in either megabytes, MB, or gigabytes, GB. Just to know, 1000 megabytes equals 1 gigabyte. So as an example, 100,000 megabytes will equal 100 gigabytes. Now, depending on how much space you have available on your hard drive and how much you want to partition into a separate section, this is where you will enter the amount in either megabyte or gigabyte value. In my example, seeing as it showcases in megabytes, I want to allocate 100 gigabytes as a spare storage sector. So what I'm going to do is enter 100,000. You will notice that the number in the total size after shrink has changed. That is expected as we are now shrinking the hard drive. What I want you to do is, using your mouse, left click the shrink button. The process should be rather quick, and you should now see the unallocated partition with the amount of storage space that you put in prior. Now, with Windows, it is funny, even though I stated 100 gigabyte, it does take away some space. That's why it is only showing 99.77 gigabyte unallocated. Now, using your mouse, what I want you to do is right-click that unallocated partition. This will bring up a little menu. Within the menu, I want you to now left-click New Simple Volume. This will bring up the wizard. Using your mouse, I want you to left-click on Next. It will now take you to a section where you can specify volume size. This is somewhat redundant for the basic user, as we already specified we wanted what amount we have, in my case 100 gigabyte, so you can click on Next. It will now take you to a section where you can assign a drive letter to that particular partition. If you want to keep it as the default set, just click on Next. In my instance, I like to put my partition as S for storage. So clicking on the little drop down arrow, I will click S and then push Next. Now it will take you to a section where you need to format the partition. You can select the file system and change it from NTFS to FAT32. Personally, it is best to keep it as NTFS, and I highly recommend you do so too. And you can also name the partition under volume label. In my instance, I'm going to call it storage. Once you are satisfied with the volume label, using your mouse, left-click Next. It will now inform you that it has all the info to complete the partition. Using your mouse, left-click Finish. Your partition has now been created. If you click on File Explorer, then click on this PC, you will see that now you have two drives. You have your default OSC and you have your newly created partition, with my example being the storage. You can now double click into that drive and use it for storage, copying and pasting whatever it is you so wish. And you don't have to stop there. If you want to create more partitions, you can do so. It all depends on how much space is on your main drive. So you don't have to stop there with one partition. You can create as many as you want, so long as your main drive has the memory for it. So there we have it. You have now partitioned your hard drive into separate sectors that can be used for different types of storage. If you did run into that common Windows 11 problem where the amount available isn't the same as what is actually available, do let me know and I will create those individual troubleshooting videos. Do also check out the other videos within my channel, as I have a lot of troubleshooting videos and some great tips and guides also. Thank you for watching.